Well, Gary, this is your first introduction to the Explanar, and I'm going to show you how to hold the power roller at the right height. And when I've got you to take your stance within the Explanar, we're going to set the Explanar plane fin at your optimum swing plane. So the first thing to do is to put the roller with the tip of the power roller just over the hoop, and then you take your grip. Introduce the left hand in the fist with a parallel thumb, the pad of the thumb resting on the rubber. We now introduce the right hand in the fingers, and the right hand fits the left thumb perfectly. Can you see that?
Yes.
And we soften your right elbow. Now if you look, the roller is resting opposite the centre line, and your feet are either side of the centre line. So it's as though you had a central ball position. You happy with that?
Feels good.
Good. So you stay nice and relaxed, and we just keep the right elbow soft.
Can do the right.
Okay, Gary, so we're going to make sure that Explanar is set for your biomechanical swing plane, your optimum swing. So we take the plane sensor, and we ensure that the plane, as you can see, if I rest the plane sensor not quite onto your chest. So what I'm going to do is adjust Explanar a little bit, flatten it, and now you can see that the plane sensor, this yellow cord runs through the middle of your breastbone. So when we start to swing, that's your biomechanical optimum plane. Okay, so we've got the power roller in the right place, and you've taken a stance with the roller in the centre of your feet. I'm going to give you some help now and start you to swing. So the early part of the swing is going to come from your shoulders and your arms. If you'll focus on the ball, and that'll help you start the swing. So a little way back. And if you can relax, feel the weight of the roller working for you. That's superb. Nice and comfortable. You don't need any tension at all. And it's always best, you'll get the best results from Explanar and the power roller if you work smoothly and slowly. Because when it's smooth and slow, you can get a real feel for what you're trying to achieve. Now, I'm going to step out of Explanar, Gary, and let you repeat that by yourself. You keep going without me, back and through, resting the power roller on Explanar at all times. Good. So you should be feeling width of arc, a wide swing rather than a long swing. Wider, that's very good. And Gary, come to rest. Well done. So the first part of the swing really was generated through the shoulders and the arms and the power roller. The next phase is to understand wrist hinge. Now many people think that this is wrist action in golf. It isn't. It's forearm rotation. I'm going to use the power roller now to show you what wrist hinge in the golf swing really is. This is wrist hinge. Can you feel that?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. And using the power roller and a good grip as you have, you'll find about 90 degrees of wrist hinge between your forearm and the power roller. Now when I show you that, you probably think, well, what's that got to do with golf? But this morning you're going to realise it's got a lot to do with golf. So you focus on the ball, and we're going to take that ingredient and mix it to the shoulder turn that you did so nicely. So here we go. We're going to start again, looking at the ball, using power roller to start your swing off. So this is primarily shoulder and arms, and even your hips and your legs are starting to move. But now, Gary, we start to use the wrists, and the wrists hinge back and they unhinge through. Hinge the wrist going back, hinge the wrist. And try and stay oily and loose. If your muscles are tense, you won't get the best out of the power roller. That's lovely. Can you feel me working the wrist now? Yeah. Okay, that's great. Now I'm going to step out of Explanar, and I'd like you to keep going and just replicate the wrist hinge that I'm working you with now. Try and relax and work with me in the roller. A little bit more relaxed if you would. That's better. Loose as a goose. Off you go by yourself. Keep it slow. That's very good. Keep it slow and smooth, Gary. Well done. Now keep it at that level, feeling the roller all the time. That's very good. Because your wrists and your forearms are relaxed, the roller isn't bouncing.
It's almost dropping by itself.
Yes. Now you've built up to a nice three-quarter swing already. Keep it going. Okay. And come to rest, Gary. Now, Gary, what we're going to do is take you over to a real golf ball with your 6-iron, and we're going to recreate that feeling with a real golf shot. Let's go and do it, shall we?
Do it.
Okay, Gary, have a couple of practice swings and familiarise yourself with the weight of your normal 6-iron. It will feel very light after the power roller. Off you go, turn and swish. One more, turn and swish. Now, in you go, set yourself up normally and make the swing nice and natural. Just the movement you're making. Off you go, turn and swish the club. Well done. You did it absolutely perfectly. High soft draw, landing now. You like that? Let's do another one. Have one practice swing, Gary, and then step in and hit the shot almost on a reflex level. Great. In you go now. Turn and swish. Wonderful shot. You see, your muscles have remembered the feeling of the Explanar, and it's carried through to the practice tee. That's a stunning shot, Gary.